Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the topic of should black people go back to Africa? Now, this is a topic, especially due to all the racial tension that's going on in America right now, that has come up once again. And now it's just come up once again. It's become a very massive um thing that people are talking about now. So for this video, I will discuss if we should go back to Africa or not for us in the African diaspora in a simple and straightforward way so anyone can understand. Now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of should black people in the African diaspora, African Americans, Caribbeans, and so forth go back to Africa, the thing is, should we go back? Well, the simple answer to that question is no. I don't believe we should go back to Africa. Okay. Now, the reason why I don't believe we should go back to Africa for us living in the African diaspora, when it comes to this topic, because of course of the extreme racism and all that type of stuff, makes people believe maybe we should go back to Africa. The simple answer to why I don't believe we should go back to Africa, for that matter, is first and foremost, okay, the reason why we have seen, even compared to the level of the 2000s, so much more racism now, okay, for that matter, is simply down to bad media reporting and the political system, okay? Because the problem and this is the problem I have with this whole argument that white people are evil and this and that you hear all the time nowadays, okay? Particularly from the black people living in the South, of course, no surprise to anyone for that matter. Is that the problem is that the political system we have in today, as we all know, is a divided political system, and the way people have this way of thinking is that if you're white and you're conservative and you vote Republican, it means you are a racist white person. Okay, that's how our society kind of thinks, for that matter. Well, not even kind of. That's how our society thinks, for that matter. Okay. Um, but the truth of the matter is that the topic is more complicated than that. And the reason why the topic is more complicated than that, especially when you look at how things are now versus how it was during the Obama days, is that we have something nowadays known as the radical left. Okay. And the radical left have just done things that have turned off a lot of people from being left wing, okay, who might have actually, not been racist for that matter, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, um, the left wing, the left wing have been pushing all these things that have made people feel uncomfortable. Like, should we have transgender people going in women's bathrooms? Should we, we should, for example, according to them, make it acceptable for people to see men kissing other men and women kissing other women, and men and women dating each other in relationships and all that sort of stuff on public TV. This is this type of stuff these people have been pushing on people. And that is the reason why so many people are turning to the right, and of course, no surprise, white people have been turning right wing, more right wing than even before, okay? Or at least to simplify my point, so many more of them, even the ones who grew up during the days of Obama, who at the time would have definitely considered themselves left wing, are now becoming right wing. Okay, and that's the real reason why this stuff is happening now, because a lot of them, in the radical left, who have pretty much hijacked the left wing party, are pushing weird shit on the people. And that's why people are doing that, not to mention their obsession with getting rid of guns, which, of course, as we all know, especially you live in North America, particularly in certain areas, no surprise, the ghetto, sometimes in life you really do need a gun to defend yourself. So, what my point is that they're taking away things that matter a lot to people, you know, or I should say the political system for that matter. The political system is taking things that matter to people on both sides, matter to people, and putting it, you can either have it one way or this way, okay? And that's what causes division. so much division as we can see it today. Because on one hand, I can be, for example, left wing, and be anti-racism, but at the same time, if I'm left wing, I also have to be accepting of them trying to push the LGBTQ plus agenda on the people and all that type of stuff, which a lot of people feel very uncomfortable about. So a lot of people go right wing and so on and so forth. So to further expand my point of what I'm trying to get at is that we cannot judge how things are on who white people are as individuals. A lot of them have changed, and not all of them are like that. So for us to think that we have to go back to Africa simply because all white people are racist and this and that is not necessarily the truth, especially when you look at the honest history of in recent times, of course, of what the radical left have been pushing on people. You can see why so many people are turning to the right wing and voting for Trump, who definitely is a racist. So what I'm saying is that the topic is not black and white, no pun intended, when it comes to why a lot of white people are voting for Trump and are now leaning more conservative. Okay, so that's a first point I want to get across is that if the political system was better, then I'm certain we would see a lot more white people, of course, be on our side, like it was during the late 2000s, early 2010s. Okay, they would not come off as racist as they are now. Okay, so that's the truth of the matter. That's my first point. Okay, the second point for that matter, okay, aside from that point, is simply down to the fact that us human beings, we have ruined this planet. Okay, there is no two ways about it. We have ruined this planet, regardless of our race, nationality, religion, whatever you like to say, that divides people. We have screwed up our planet, okay, for that matter. Okay, everything from environmental problems that we've created, particularly environmental problems we've created, to just a lot of other issues that we've created. We've screwed up our planet. Okay, so thinking that going back to Africa is going to somehow magically make the world a better place for us black people is not really going to do much of anything for that matter. Besides, at the end of the day, it's not like white people have the right to tell us, to go back to Africa. We don't belong in North America, when at the same time, a lot of them keep on stealing resources from Africa all the time. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, especially cobalt, So for them to say, oh, you guys don't belong here because this nation was founded by white people, at least for us living particularly here in North America, like Canada and America, but at the same time, they're taking resources from us all the time from Africa, which the question you can obviously bring up is what gives them right to take away something that is obviously a part of Africa itself. You start to realize quickly that argument falls apart. So it's not like they can tell us, oh, you guys don't belong here whatsoever. So that argument there that they would make makes no sense. And back to what I was saying before, aside from the point I was making, that we as human beings have screwed up our planet. The truth of the matter is, since we have screwed up our planet, okay, and as I was getting at before, they can't tell us to go back to Africa. They don't have the right to tell us to go back to Africa, even the ones who, of course, are racist. The truth of the matter is, we screwed up this planet. Our future as his species, to answer your question, is in the stars. We screwed up Earth. There's no two ways about it. The world is screwed up. Global warming is not truly ever going to go away, even if we find electric cars, or I should say, find a way to create electric cars and stuff. We screwed up our planet. There is no two ways about it. I don't believe anything we can do at this point is going to change anything. Our future in this world is screwed, So to say that going back to Africa is going to really do anything, I don't know what it's really going to do. Our planet is screwed up. All of us on this planet, regardless of race, have all played a part in screwing it up. Our world's fucked, if anything. So the simple answer to the question right then and there is it's just no point. We will have to colonize outer space. It has nothing to do with if you're passionate or not. That's not important. What is important is, of course, that we start, of course, thinking towards a future, which is in our future in outer space. We screwed up our planet. Okay, like I wouldn't say this under normal circumstances if the world was actually run properly, but we screwed up our planet. So in short, going back to Africa is not really going to solve anything. Not to mention the countless logistical issues, like how do we get so many people to go back there when there's easily over like 100 million black people in Africa, and what nations they go to. Like those are all things you have to consider as well. So to say that we should go back to Africa, because of racism here is simply not a good idea. I don't think it will work. So anyway, this is my video, and all I have to say is that I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say. And simply put, I'm out. So bye.